Patni manoramam dehi manovruttanusaarinim tarinim durga samsara sagarasya kulodbhavam. Patnim manoramam dehi manovrutta anusarinim tarinim durga samsara sagarasya kula utbhavam. O Divine Shakti, give me a wife who is soothing to my mind, who is compatible with the movements of my mind, who allows me to cross the ocean of rebirth that is difficult to overcome, a wife from a good family. In this video, we are going to learn about an interesting topic, especially according to Vedic society and its texts: how to get a wife. Now, in this video, we are going to learn a particular mantra that prepares an individual, specifically his mind and his ego, to receive a wife. Now, we are going to learn what Vedic society considers to be a suitable wife, a good wife. We are going to learn the meaning of the mantra as well as how to pronounce it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so by hitting the lotus icon on the bottom right of the screen for more videos on Indian philosophy. Also, I am doing private one-on-one tutoring lessons in Sanskrit, in the Yoga Sutra or Bhagavad Gita, whatever text that you want to learn, whatever text that you're interested in. Please do contact me at theacademyofserenity@gmail.com. So let's go over the understanding of a mantra. Mantras are used for many purposes. One purpose is stilling the mind. As we see in the Yoga Sutra or Yoga philosophy, a mantra allows an individual to repeat something over and over again to get into a flow-like state of concentration and to focus on one thing. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. It's repeated again and again and again, commonly 108 times in a mala, right? Beads, 108 beads. So the mantra allows the individual to become focused. The mantra allows the individual to make his or her mind one-pointed. That's one use of a mantra. Another use of a mantra is something that's rooted in Vedic society. The idea that the ritual or the yajna that's done here on earth has an impact in the cosmos. If you want something, whatever you want, if you're in a state of suffering, if you want a wife, if you want cows, if you want victory in war, whatever it is that you want, right? You can say a mantra for it. You can say a Vedic hymn to receive it. Because the idea is some devas or some gods are receiving the mantra, the universe is receiving the mantra, the cosmos is receiving it. If you are in the correct state of mind, right, a sattvic state of mind, you can say a mantra, and also in a rajasic state of mind, etc. You can say a mantra that extends the energy out into the universe and brings it back to you. If you're devoted and you say it over and over and over again with sincerity. Now, this is the belief in Vedic society, in Hindu society. So you can say this particular mantra with a certain mindset, with a certain preparation when you are ready, and also something to get you ready. And you can receive what is considered to be a good wife. Now, let's begin with the context. Where does this mantra come from? Before I get into the meaning, where does this mantra come from? Now, we know in the Devi Mahātmya, which is a text that is about 700 verses long, it comes from this particular text, which is a part of the Markandeya Purana. Now, the Markandeya Purana is a literature. So, Purana is like a literature of texts. Stories, many stories of heroes and villains and fights and romance, etc., lessons about dharma, righteousness, etc. The Puranas are a certain genre of text, the Bhagavata Purana, the Garuda Purana, the Shiva Purana, etc. So the Markandeya Purana, which is specifically named after a sage, Markandeya, right, includes something called the Devi Mahātmya. Now, let's go into Shakta philosophy. Now, Shakta philosophy or Shakti philosophy, right, includes or consists of an idea called Devi. Devi is considered to be the absolute truth, the cosmic truth, the ultimate reality underpinning everything. What is commonly known as Brahman, right? In Indian philosophy, Brahman, absolute reality that pervades everything. Infinite, eternal, powerful, omniscient, etc. Right? Absolute reality, the ultimate reality, the truth, Brahman, is the feminine principle. Ultimate reality here is the feminine principle, Devi. Now this is outstanding. For those of you who have the question of, what is the role of the feminine principle? What is the role of the feminine principle? What place does it have in society? Forget society. Forget limitation. The feminine principle, the feminine, is infinite. It's limitless. It's eternal. It's all-powerful. The feminine principle is everything. It's reality and truth itself. Now, let's begin with understanding the meaning of the mantra. So, it is said, Patni manoramam dehi manovruttanusaarinim tarinim durga samsara sagarasya kulodbhavam. Okay? So, Patnim manoramam dehi. Now, Patnim, right, or Patni, right, means wife. Okay? Your life partner being a wife here. Patnim means wife. Okay? It's a feminine word here. Manoramam dehi. Dehi is an imperative verb saying, may you give me, right? May you give me. It's speaking to the divine here, okay? May you give me, may you provide me with a patnim, right? May you provide me with a patni, that is manoramam, mana, rama. Mana is the mind, the emotional, intellectual, everything, the processing, etc. It's the mind, mana in this case, okay? Rama means something that is pleasing, something that is soothing, something that is calming, something that is conducive, okay? Now, Patni manoramam dehi, may you give me a wife that is soothing, that is pleasing, that is calming, that is conducive to my mind. Now, this is very, very interesting here. Now, oftentimes when looking for a partner, right, people will describe qualities. I want someone who's beautiful. I want someone who's intelligent. I want someone who's independent. I want someone who's dependent. I want someone who's creative. I want someone who's like this, like this, like this, right? You can list out 500 to 1,000 qualities of the person. But at the end of the day, the qualities that you're choosing are what is conducive to your mind, or what you think is conducive to your mind. You are choosing qualities because you think that's what's going to make you happy. So why not just bypass the qualities and say, give me a wife that makes my mind happy, right? Instead of saying, well, I want someone who's independent, so then I don't have to worry about losing my freedom. I want someone who's beautiful, so I could show off to society and feel that I'm with someone beautiful and it's pleasing to me. I want someone who's really creative, so I can engage in that dialogue about art. I want someone who is really, learning about so many topics, etc., right? Just bypass all that. I want someone who's pleasing to my mind, who's soothing to my mind, who's conducive to my mind, right? Because whatever qualities you want, you're just asking for something that's good for your mind, or what you think is good for your mind. So this mantra is brilliant. This mantra is brilliant because it's saying, Patni manoramam dehi, manaha or mana rama. Give me someone, please. Give me someone who is, forget about these qualities. Give me someone who is pleasing and soothing and, conducive to my mind, to my manas here. So, brilliant. Patnim manoramam dehi. This is a verb right here. Mano vrutta. What I believe to be here as mana vrutta, right? Vrutta is like from the root vrut, a churning or a turning. So the fluctuation of my mind, the activity of my mind, right? So mana, mind, vrutta, the churning or the activity of my mind, right? Mana vrutta anusarinim. In this case, Anusarinim is comforting, or most importantly, compatible to my mind. Okay? So, manovritta anusarinim, someone who is compatible to the churning or the activity of my mind. The divine energy, give me someone who is compatible, who is comforting to the activities of my mind, to my thoughts, to my thought process, to my cognitions, right? Give me someone who is compatible to me. Again, brilliant, right? We're going throughout the day, we're trying to improve ourselves, we're trying to understand ourselves, we're trying to understand our personalities, decrease our weaknesses, increase our strengths, right? And in the process, we're trying to figure out who we are and who's suitable for us, right? So along the process, as we continue to improve ourselves, who's suitable for us starts to change, right? In the beginning, you might think beauty is everything, right? Beauty is everything, right? Then later on, through pain or whatever it is, then slowly by slowly, you start to understand that that's not everything, right? That's the Saturnian principle in Vedic astrology, right? People who have their 7th houses ruled by Saturn, in the beginning of their lives, they tend to seek beauty, or they seek certain superficial qualities in some case. What is considered to be superficial, right? Because they're not really, seeking what's inside in a particular case. But the 7th house being ruled by Saturn in this case, later on teaches a person lessons over time that you need to have someone who's compatible with you. But anyway, in this case, manovritta anusarinim, give me someone who's comforting and compatible with my mind, with the activities of my mind. So again, why list the 50 different qualities that you want? Just learn about who you are, know the qualities of what you want, but when you're chanting the mantra, ask for someone who is comforting. So manovritta anusarinim, right? Please provide me with a wife that is conducive, that is most importantly compatible with the fluctuations and activities of my mind, with my manas, right? Mano, vritta, from the root vrit, to churn, right? Mano vritta anusarinim. Please, divine energy, provide me, give me with a wife that is conducive and comforting, but most importantly, once again, compatible, right? With the workings, the inner workings of my mind, my emotions, my intellect, etc. Now the next line, tarinim, it's a feminine accusative word here, and it agrees with patnim, and from the root to cross or to traverse, right? To cross or to traverse here, we're going to find out to cross what? What do you mean, provide me with a wife that allows me to cross? Okay, so we're going to find that out here. Patni manoramam dehi manovritta anusarinim tarinim durga samsara sagarasya. Durga samsara sagarasya. Now with the compound we start from the right. Sagarasya, genitive ending, possessive, right? Of sagara. Sagara means ocean, okay? Of the ocean of samsara. Samsara is a key word in Vedic texts and in Hinduism, right? Samsara meaning the cycle of birth and death. Samsara, rebirth over and over and over and over again until you're freed and achieve moksha or liberation here, or kaivalya in yoga or sankhya. So sagarasya, of the ocean of rebirth, of the ocean of samsara, that is Durga. Here, Durga means that is great, that is difficult to overcome, that is very challenging, really great, almost impossible challenge here, right? So the word Durga here is, giving an idea of samsara. There's actually 2 words here that are giving an idea of samsara. The cycle of birth and death is like an ocean. It's so vast, it's so confusing, it's mysterious. There's so many challenges in it, and it's almost impossible to overcome, right? So of the ocean of samsara that is vast and difficult to overcome, and kula ut bhavam, kulod bhavam, kula ut bhavam, a wife who is bhavam or ut bhavam, that comes from or emerges from kula. In this case, a good family. Kula means family. So provide me with a wife please provide me with a wife that allows me to traverse, to cross the ocean of samsara that is great and difficult to overcome, and is also coming from or is from a good family. Now, let's go deeper into this, okay? This is so beautiful here. Tarinim, please provide me with the patnim that allows me or enables me to cross the ocean of samsara that is great. Guys, this is so important here, okay? In Vedic society, individuals are chanting this mantra and asking for a wife, a patni here, that allows them to become free from the cycle of birth and death. Okay? One is not seeking a wife because they realize they're of age, or they realize that, you know, their sexual desires are acting up, or they realize that everyone else is doing it, right? This particular mantra is indicating here, look, we've had countless lifetimes over and over again. We're in this vast ocean of danger, of mysteriousness. We don't know what's happening. It's big. It's so difficult to overcome. It's impossible to overcome. But it is still possible to overcome. And it can happen. Divine energy, provide me with a partner, a wife, who will allow me to overcome the ocean of samsara, who will allow me to achieve moksha, liberation, freedom from the cycle of birth and death. How profound is this? Look at the selection criteria here, you know? How are you choosing your life partner? You're choosing a life partner based on the theological framework that is happening here. Someone who is compatible with my mind, the churnings of my mind and my personality, and someone who helps me achieve the ultimate goal of moksha, of liberation here. Now, two things here. What is the obstacle to moksha? What is the obstacle to freedom, to liberation, of the soul's liberation from the mind? What is the obstacle here? The obstacle is the mind itself. The mind, or the identification with the false self, avidya, right? In the Yoga Sutra, you'll know about a klesha, an affliction called avidya, which is when an individual falsely identifies with the false self, which is the body and the mind, the chitta, or the manas in this case, right? So the obstacle to liberation and freedom is the mind itself. Now please provide me with a wife, a patni, who is comfortable and compatible with my mind, right? So that I may utilize my mind to achieve liberation, okay? Because we all have different minds. We all have different samskaras, memories. We all have different mental imprints. We have different concepts and narratives and stories and autobiographical accounts. We have different dispositions, different emotions, different reactions, different everything, right? Now, having this in mind, provide me with a wife that works with me, that allows my mind to be peaceful, to be calm, to be comforting, right? That allows it to be in such a way that I can continue my path towards liberation, that I can continue working with my mind and transcending it itself, depending on what school of thought and the method that is used to achieve liberation. Okay? It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It changes the whole idea and the criteria of how you're asking for a wife, how you're looking for a partner. It's profound. It's unbelievable, right? And so we have said that, the second one. And the first one, I want to go into a little bit of astrology here, in Jyotisha, right? Vedic astrology here. Patni manoramam dehi, right? Manoramam manovritta anusarinim. Now, compatible. Now, in Vedic astrology, there is a very intricate system of matching partners, right? You look at one person's Vedic chart, you look at another person's Vedic chart, which is pretty much all the planetary placements and houses, etc., at the exact second, minute, etc., that they're born, and the other persons as well. Put them together and on a bunch of levels: emotional compatibility, physical compatibility, mental compatibility, everything, right? And see how compatible they are. You know, it's a very, very intricate system. Now, one of the methods of matching people according to Vedic astrology, right? In this case, a guy and a girl, right? One of the methods is finding out where their moon placement is. What does the moon represent in Vedic astrology? Moon, right, represents the mind, specifically the emotional mind, okay? While Mercury is more intellect, the moon is the emotional mind, Chandra, right? It commonly says Chandraha, Chanchalaha, it's very fickle-minded. The moon can be fickle-minded, the moon can be lustful, the moon can be emotional, have swings, right, mood swings, etc. The moon is very soft, it reflects, it's very generous, etc. Many different adjectives in the various texts that we look at. But one of the key things to kind of look out for here in Vedic astrology and matching people is the moon placement. You know, of course, this is very general, but if a person's moon is in a water sign and another person's moon is in a water sign as well, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, there can be an understanding, right, between two people because it's in the same element. And if you understand what water is, if you understand Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, you can understand, right? If one's moon is in a fire sign, another in a fire sign, right? Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius, etc. Depending on the specific nakshatra that it's in, then you can see how two people can be compatible according to Vedic astrology. So now here it's saying, find me someone who is compatible with my mind. Now, but I do want to note that in Vedic astrology, you're combining people or combining and bringing people into a pair based off of their mind, their moon, and many other criteria such as Mars, right, how independent they are, etc. But the whole idea here is that we're looking for emotional compatibility. We are looking for the compatibility of the mind here, okay? Again, we function primarily from our bodies and our minds, right? Our brains, right? Everything is coming from our body and our mind. So in that case, if you know how your mind is, if you know the inclinations of your mind, if you know how sensitive you are, how emotional you are, you know, how your reactivity is and what you need to work on and what you don't need to work on, right? What your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. If you know your mind and the direction that it's going in, right? And you choose a partner that is conducive and compatible with your mind, right? Because it manifests in so many different ways. I think the trick is that we think that, you know, I want someone who's like A, B, C, D, and E, right? With this quality, that quality, that quality, that quality. But again, we're thinking that these qualities are what is going to make us happy, right? We think that I want someone who's independent and who doesn't, constrain my time and my freedom. We think that's what's going to make us happy. Okay, let's trust that it does. But no matter what, we're looking for happiness through the relationship, right? So understand your mind, understand your inclinations, right? And in this way, what this Vedic mantra is kind of doing is very interesting. It's saying that, look, bypass all the qualities. Just ask for someone, look for someone, right? Put the energy out into the universe for someone who is compatible with your mind, who understands your mind and doesn't excite it and cause problems, but most importantly, allows you to achieve freedom or liberation theologically, right? Depends on what you believe in, right? So if you don't believe in multiple lifetimes, if you don't believe in, whatever it is that you believe in, right? I think it's important to at least look at the main goal of where you're trying to go in your life and choose a partner based off of that too. Because in this case, what this verse is doing is it's abstracting what you want in your life, right? So it's not only saying, give me a wife under these conditions under whatever at this particular time. It's saying my whole life, in many lifetimes, in all the lifetimes that I have ahead, right? In the ocean of samsara and rebirth that is really vast and dangerous and mysterious and really tough to surpass, right? Give me a wife that understands my mind and helps me through this. So it's looking at the biggest picture that you could possibly look at. I mean, I don't know how much bigger picture you want to look at for that. So here we have Patni Manoramam Dehi Manovruttanusaarinim Tarinim Durga Samsara Sagarasya Kulodbhavam. Right? O divine energy, please provide me with a wife, a Patni, that is suitable for my mind, pleasing and calming, that is also very conducive and comforting, and most importantly, compatible to the workings, to the fluctuations, right, to the movements of my mind, that allows me to cross samsara, right, the ocean of samsara, that allows me to cross the ocean of samsara that is vast and dangerous and difficult to surpass, and is also, in this case, from a good family. Now this whole idea of from a good family, I mean, it's very important to understand this, that in Hindu society, even modern Hindu society, and in Vedic society, you're marrying into the family. You're marrying the family, okay? The family tends to live together, and then the families join together, right? The husband's family and the wife's family, they join together, and eventually the wife goes to the husband's family and lives with the husband's family, right? But what's happening is the husband still has the responsibility of the wife's family. You are loyal, you are responsible, you're committed to the wife's family, okay? So you want a good home environment. You want good relatives, right? You know, there's going to be the occasional relative that is, you know, having maybe like a self-destructive lifestyle or a certain type of lifestyle that is not conducive to keeping the family together. You know, that happens. But the whole idea is to minimize that, right? To minimize these difficulties in the family. Now we know this is inevitable, right? People are going to have challenges and issues in life, right? There's going to be mental illness, there's going to be difficulties, you know, there's going to be people who have alcoholism now, and there's going to be people who have drug addictions and whatnot, and everyone has their own journey, right? Practically speaking, according to this tradition, you know, you're trying to marry into a family that has this stability. But knowing that today, you know, there's going to be many different challenges and it's going to be different. So the idea still stays. You know, you don't just like banish a family because there's challenges in it. But if you do get married into that family, you accept those challenges as your own, right? So the wife's father, the wife's mother, the wife's brother, the wife's cousins, you serve all of them and they serve you. You all serve each other. That is the mentality. That is the mentality of this society. That is the mentality of this marriage system, right? So in this case, we're looking at Kulod Bhavam, right? From a good family. You're looking at a family that has these values, these moral values, that values of dharma, righteousness, right? And we'll go into that in another video, but the words like status and wealth, it's not really as superficial as you think it is. You know, ideally you want to marry into a family that's stable, that has stability, that's not hectic, right? But even if that's the case, it's not like you're not going to marry that family or take care of that family, you know? The whole idea here is that you want the best possible thing that is conducive for your mind to be calm. See, okay, so coming back to the mantra, Patni manoramam dehi manovruttanusaarinim tarinim durga samsara sagarasya kulodbhavam. O divine feminine energy that is ultimate, please provide me, please give me, or may you give me a wife that is soothing to my mind, that is conducive, and most importantly compatible to the workings, the inner workings of my mind, that allows me to traverse or cross the ocean of samsara that is vast, mysterious, and dangerous, and also existing or coming from a good family. We talked about how individuals in Vedic society and modern Hindus, right, use certain mantras to prepare themselves to receive a wife that is conducive for their minds. And women also have this particular mantra or a particular mantra to attract a husband that is also good for them and their minds. So I do want us to understand here that to understand women, to understand the feminine energy, right, is to understand that it's divine. It's to understand that it's ultimate, infinite, eternal, all-powerful. The divine energy can be sensitive and soft, but it can be powerful, ruthless, and dominating. The divine energy cannot be labeled, it cannot be contained. The divine energy is Goddess Saraswati and Goddess Kali. The divine energy can be seen in this particular text, Devi Mahātmya and Markandeya Purana, right? The divine energy can be seen in the Vedas, in the Shakta tradition. So if you want to understand divine energy and feminine energy, check out these particular verses and check out this particular text. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so by hitting the lotus icon for more videos on Indian philosophy, mantra chanting, and other topics that are of interest to you. Thank you very much.